Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the Rainbow Chip Crochet Cowl. This is using the brand new Caron X Pantone yarn. Total of 3 braids that are needed. I'll show you those in a moment. You're going to need to unwrap those braids, which we have a separate tutorial for, but today I'm going to jump right into this cowl. So let's take a look at the braids first, and then we're going to continue then, and there's a diagram to follow too. So here are the braids. There's a total of 3 of them. The main color is coconut cream, and this is separating all the colors from each other. You can use another solid color if you wish. You're also going to need a fuchsia foliage, and again each one of these colors are separated by the coconut cream, and we also have frozen berry, and you can see in the cowl that if you just change the order of the product it actually does a great job. So what you have to do is that you have to unwrap, and you'll get a fistful of yarn just like you see, and this will do each one of the color lines that you see. So each one of these braids does the solid colors that you see across. For the coconut cream area, what I did is that I put them all together into one massive ball, and then I just keep crocheting that until I get done. So there's a secret about this particular cowl that I love, is that you don't need to cut this yarn every time you're finished off with the main color. You just carry it in behind. So let's take a look at the cowl now. So here's the crochet cowl and the diagram. These are the exact same pattern, and all it is that there's version 1 and 2, and they've just changed up the order. So if you'd like to choose other braids that are not in this pattern, you can just do so and just keep a main color that will be obvious for you to be able to follow. So this main color that you see is just half double crochet, so you don't use it as fast as you do with the other colors that you see. And you can see that one particular braid link here is one solid color, and then you almost run out completely, and then you're moving on. We also have the crochet diagram. This is done in rounds, and as we come all the way back around we advance. Now the nice thing about it is that all these half double crochets that you see in 1, 4, and 7 is the main color, and we carry that up and behind, so we're not cutting that every time, and you will see that on the sample. So I have a mini sample done for you. Let me show you that next. So here's the sample of the cowl. This is the actual slip stitch line that you see. So when you turn it around you can see it's pretty awesome. It just goes up and down. So you can see the sprays are here, and then it switches, and then it switches back. So it keeps on doing that as you're going all the way around. So what you're gonna do, let's flip this and show you the inside. So I told you before is that the main color does not actually get fastened off. You're gonna carry it up in behind. You don't even see it, right? So why would you have to cut that? So it's a pretty awesome idea, so therefore there's less strings to worry about, or less yarn to worry about than to finish off later. So it's a neat idea, and we're going to get started today, and let's get your idea. I have to tell you one thing that you don't get from the sense of this is incredibly soft. This yarn is so soft. I'm actually really quite surprised with it, and I think that you'll be very happy with it too. For tutorial reasons I can't use white for obvious reasons, so I'm just gonna use this green here. I'm just gonna do a mini sample in order to teach you the steps. So we're just gonna create a slip knot to begin. Don't waste too much yarn because you have limited amount of yarn on these balls. You want to make sure every inch counts. So I'm using a 6.5 millimeter size K crochet hook. It is asking for a 6 millimeter size J. I found when I did a gauge test that I needed to go up a little higher in order to get the right size. So what we need to do is that we need to chain 96. So just start rotating your hook and pulling it through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're gonna go all the way to 96, but before you do so, take this off the hook and put the first chain on, and then continue to go. So just put that back on, and what that will do is that'll help you not twist your chain. So just keep on going. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and go all the way to 96 for me. So I've gone all the way to 96, and because I started off here it's not twisted at all, and what I want to do is just yarning over and pulling through and through to the first one to complete off to make a solid ring. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to begin, and we're going to chain 2. This does not count as a stitch in this particular pattern when we go to start with this, and starting in the very first one I want you to half double crochet. But before you do that, just turn it over and get the back hump of the chain. It just looks a lot better. So just turning it over and get the back hump, and I want you to half double crochet yourself all the way around. Okay, so you're gonna have 96 half double crochets by the time you get all the way around. So just continue on the back hump of each one of the chains for doing half double crochet, and meet me back here in just a moment. When you get all the way back around, you want to make sure that this is not twisted. So think it like it's a conveyor belt where it just follow along, and just make sure that there's no weird twist to it. So make sure that when you go to slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet that you just slip and everything stays nice and balanced. So make sure that there's no permanent twist. So what I want you to do is that I want you to pull up a large loop and let it hold, and we're gonna grab a new color which is going to start, and right where we are joined is exactly where we're gonna start the next color. So let's continue to do that in a moment. So right where we've done the join that you have is exactly where I want you to join the new color. So just create a little slip knot. Again, don't have too much yarn hanging off the end of that tail so that you don't waste any. So what you want to do is that you want to just go in the back loop to join. So just pull it up and see where things are, and we've joined it here. So that's the back loop, and I want you to pull that up, and okay, so it's through, chain 1, and I want you to do a single crochet in the back loop and go right up over top of that loose end so that you can trap it into position. So I want you to do that one and the next one in the back loop only for single crochets. So these single crochets that you're gonna have will always be in the back loop on this round. So rounds number 2, which is this one all the way through 7, is part of the repeat pattern. I now want you to chain 2. So what we're going to do is just gonna put the straggler behind, and I want you to go to the 7th stitch away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where we're going to start our beginning of our sprays. So you're gonna double crochet into the 7th one, and then you're going to chain 1, and then double crochet there again and chain 1, and you want to do that until you get 7 of those. So just make sure you chain 1 in between the double crochets. So we've got the last double crochet in there, so chain 2 this time and go to the 7th one away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and in the back loop only single crochet that one plus 2 more. So they're all gonna be 3 single crochets in a row. Now we didn't do that in the very beginning because we're gonna do the last one when we come back around. So let's chain 2 again, go to the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and double crochet there, and then chain 1 and double crochet, and continue to do that until you get 7 of those. So chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So when I'm doing this I don't actually count my 7 until I'm kind of thinking that it's there, and then I quickly look. So I think I'm pretty close. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's just because I'm used to crocheting. It's pretty much I got it. So chain 2 and skip to the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and single crochet the next 3. I want you to do that same pattern going all the way around, and then meet me back at the end of this round. So continue along just like you see. I'm coming all the way back. So here's the loop that we have for the green carrying up. Make sure that it stays in behind so that you don't get it trapped in front, so that you can keep it in behind. So what you're just gonna do is just jump to the final 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then that is going to be, and that is the one just before this one anyway, which is correct. And you want to just keep that loop out of the way and just do your back loop single crochet, and then you're just going to join it then to the first single crochet. See, and now the green is left in behind. So we're gonna continue this color one more time, and we're gonna be using up the remaining of this ball, pretty close to it. So in this one here we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the same one. So it's the middle one of the group of 3. Okay, that's kind of important to know. So now we're gonna chain 2, and now we're gonna do half double crochet sections as we go all the way across, and I'll be right back in just a moment. So after we chain 2, we're gonna start immediately in the space between the first double crochet and the second, and we're gonna do what is called as a bobble. So to do a bobble, you're gonna wrap the hook and going right into the space itself, pull through, wrap the hook, going in again, pull through, and then wrap the hook one more time in and pull through, and you have all of this on your hook. So now you're just going to matter of pulling through. So you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops, and you're just gonna pull through all 7 loops right back to the very beginning, chain 1 to lock it, and then chain 1 to move to the next one. So just come to the next space, so wrap and into the next space, pull through, wrap, space, pull through, wrap, and into the space, pull through, and I've done that 3 times, and I'm just gonna pull through everything. I'm gonna lock it with a chain 1 and then chain 1 to move to the next stitch. So I'm just gonna continue to do that then for each one of these sections, and that's how you're gonna treat these sprays that you have. So chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. Okay, chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. This is the last space that you have before this one runs out. Okay, pull through everything and chain 1 to lock. Now that you've locked that final one, you're going to chain 2 and you're gonna come to the middle one of the group of 3 and you're going to single crochet and then begin that all over again. So chain 2 to start, come to the first, double crochet the 2 there, come into the space and start your bobbling and continue to do that all the way around. So please do this all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this rotation and we're gonna be finishing up this color next. So just make sure you chain 1 to lock and then chain 1 to move forward. So I'm coming all the way back around. I'm just gonna lock it, chain 2, and we're just going to join then to the first single crochet that you started with, and then what we're gonna do is fasten that off. So you're almost out of this pink yarn, so we're gonna actually trim this yarn and we're gonna hide it in, and you can go right up over the top of this then in the next round, so you don't have to really sew it in too much if you don't wish. So just weave it in and out of some of the stitch work, and what we're going to do then is we're gonna bring back our green, and every third round is just gonna be bringing back the main color. In the pattern's case it'll be white in order to do that. So let's continue then. We're just gonna reach in behind and grab the loop for the green, and we're just gonna put that and tighten it back up onto our hook, and right where we've done the single crochet join is right where we want to go. So just now that you've got it tightened up, put your hook back into the top of the first single crochet here of the pink and pull it through, and then what I want you to do is chain 2, which doesn't count as anything, it's a builder, and I want you to half double crochet into the same one. So we're now going to introduce half double crochets back into this. So in this space here that are in between the sprays, there's gonna be 2 half double crochets by itself, and then in the top of the bobbles there's gonna be 1, and then in the spaces in between the bobbles there's gonna be 1. So top of the bobble for 1, space for 1, and you're gonna continue to do this all the way around. And I'm almost done the spray here. Space and then bobble, and then you'll end up back on the other side of the spray. So in the space here you're going to place in 2 half double crochets. You're gonna place a half double crochet in the single crochet and then continue that same idea going all the way around. And so what that will do is it'll frame the color just like you see. So please do this all the way around. So I'm just coming up all the way back around. I'm about to run out of the green, so I'm not gonna carry that on next time that we have these half double crochets. I'm gonna choose something else. So we're just gonna fill in the final space here with 2 half double crochets, and then I'm just going to join it then to the top of the first half double crochet with the slip stitch. So if this was the main color and you wanted to continue this color like the white, then you just pull up a large loop and just leave it off into the back end, and now we're gonna bring on another new color to begin, and this time we have to change the location of these sprays. We need to put 1 in between these, and so we have to start off slightly different but in the same spot right down here. So let's start a new color. We're gonna start it with the slip knot, and we're going to start right exactly where we left off, right in the base here. Okay, so that's gonna be the half double crochet that's right in the center, and what we're going to do then is that we are going to just start in a regular stitch on the top of that half double crochet, and I need you to start creating a spray right away. So we're gonna chain a total, so join it and then chain total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, that counts as a half double crochet, and 4 is the actual chain 1 space. In the same stitch where you've joined, I need you to continue then to make a half a spray. So we're making one of these but only in half, and we're gonna finish the other half when we get back around. So we're just gonna double crochet down there, then chain 1 and then double crochet down there again, and you need a total of what appears to be 4 of these. So you got your chain 3 and then your 2 double crochets, chain 1 and do 1 more, so that appears to be 4. So now that you have these 4 in, you're going to chain 2, and what you're going to do is you're gonna skip over 6 half double crochets. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and the 7th one is going to be the single crochet in the back loop only, and you're gonna do 3 of those just like you did before when it was in between. So now you're going to chain 2, and the nice thing about it is that you can not have to count anymore. See this one here? It's in the middle one with the pink. That's the where you're gonna aim for. So you can either count it over, or you can just aim for that and just do your double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet, and you want a total of 7 double crochets that make up that spray once again. Just make sure you put your chain 1s that separate them out. So we should have 1 2 3 4 5 6, and here's the 7th. Once you have that spray done, chain 2, and then you're gonna come back to, again, to the top of your section. So you can either skip 6, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, go to the 7th for a single crochet in the back loop only, go on the top for 3 in a row, and then chain 2, and then skip to the next section down here. So see the middle one, and you're gonna go all the way over there and start your double crochets once again. So please do this same idea, going all the way around. So when you come all the way back around, you're just gonna do your last section over here. Now this is the green one, so that'll be your main color. I want you to put it in behind so it's there. So right where we started is exactly where you need to fall into, and if you count your stitch work, it'll be the same. So you already have 4 in there, so you're gonna go exactly where you started, and you're going to place in a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet. So you want your total of your 7 again. So there will be 3 double crochets on the side that have chain 1s that separate them, and don't forget you still have to chain 1 after you do separate that last one to the 3rd stitch up. So now we're at the top of these sprays, and so now we're gonna continue then in order to move along. So what we're going to do then is chain 2, and we're gonna start our bobbles just like you see in the first space that you're gonna run into. So remember, you gotta wrap that hook 3 times as you're going around. So just going in, lock it with a chain 1, chain 1 to move on. So you're just gonna start, you're just doing what you already know, you're just starting in a different spot. Then chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move forward. Chain 1 to lock. Now this is the end of the spray, so chain 2 to move on, and what you want to do is in the middle one of the group of 3 just single crochet, chain 2, and then start again. So choose the middle space between the first double crochet and the second as your starting point, and you're gonna do your bobbles. So you already know how to do this at this moment, so I want you to continue all the way around then using this color, and then I will see at the end of this, and this is the final one of the this is number 6. So we're gonna then start and do a half double crochet one more time, and then that will complete your repeat pattern in order to do this for the remaining of your cowl. So I'm coming out all the way back around. This is the last bobble. I'm chain 2, I'm going into the middle one, and remember that we started off in this section over here, so the bobble is halfway through, so we're gonna have to start our that one. So chain 2 and just come into the first one, get your bobbles in. So we're just really just kind of finishing off where you started. So chain 1 to lock, chain 2 to move forward, and just keep on going. And we're also done with this color as well once we get this done. So lock and then chain 1 to then join it to the top of the first bobble that you had started with. So now this color is done and you're almost out of yarn, so you can finish off this color, just get rid of it, and then you bring back your green, your main color, which is in my case will be green. In my case I am running out of green, so I can switch it to something else if I really wanted to, but if you're using just like it's suggesting in the pattern, just grab your cream. So just reaching in behind, pull up the loop that you're saving, and then just come in to the top of the first section over here. So what we need to do is just come right in between the space. So there's 6. So 1, 2, 3. This space here is right where you're gonna be. It's the middle one. And then just pull that nice and tighter in the back, and then just pull through and through. And then you're ready to go again. So we're gonna chain 2, doesn't count as anything, and you're gonna half double crochet, and you're just gonna continue to move around like you did before. So the top of the bobble is the next, and then the space is the next one after that, and you continue to do that. So right here there's gonna be 2 in this big space, 1 in the single, and then 2 into there, and then 1 into each of the bobbles and spaces going all the way around. And then when you get back all the way around, you're going to then, if you need to fast forward back to this video here, or this part of the video to start this, so you're gonna start down here again, and you're going to come back up. So it's just kind of a neat idea. And when I say start down here, I mean that this spray here is going to start appearing right where you need it to appear. So we're gonna start off then with the single crochets, and then we're gonna fill this space in here eventually with what you see here. So that's it for now. This is the Rainbow Chip Crochet Cowl. It's not too complicated of a pattern. It's just a matter of how to start and stop your rounds and how to carry your colors in order to do that. So please enjoy your new cowl, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.